reporting on the Revolutionary War.
Kaylee Diero is here and you are watching Historical News 101. Today's topic is on the Revolutionary War. The first shots rang out on April 19, 1775 in Lexington, Massachusetts. There were 217,000 U.S. troops engaged. The 13 American colonies fought for independence from British rule to become the United States. The Treaty of Paris was signed in 1783, and Great Britain acknowledged America's independence. The treaty established a northern boundary with Canada set the Mississippi River as the western boundary. Colonists were frustrated because Britain forced them to pay taxes, yet did not give them any representation in the British Parliament. Colonists rallied behind the phrase, "No taxation without representation." Congress chose George Washington as Commander-in-Chief of America's Armed Forces. There were 4,435 American battle deaths. The Battle of Saratoga was the first great American victory of war and is widely believed to have been the turning point that led America to triumph over Britain. At the Battle of Bunker Hill, colonial officer William Prescott ordered, "Do not fire until you see the whites of their eyes." His troops had the courage and discipline to hold their hire until the enemy was near, an early sign that the ragtag American army had a chance at defeating the well-trained, well-armed British troops. Thank you for watching.
Here's Alonso reporting on the Civil War.
Hi, my name is Alonso Clark, and I am a reporter for Historical News 101. The topic that I was doing was the Civil War. The American Civil War is widely known in the United States as simply the Civil War, as well as other different names. The North against the South, the Union against the Confederacy, and the Blue against the Gray are just a few. The Civil War began April 12, 1861, and ended April 9, 1865 to determine the survival of the Union or the independence of the Confederacy. It was the era of the Industrial Revolution. The southern states wanted the production of goods to be produced by slave labor. The northern states wanted mass production to be done by the advancement of machines such as Eli Whitney's cotton gin and Cyrus McCormick's reaper. 7 southern states declared their secession from the United States and formed the Confederate States of America. Jefferson Davis was elected president of the Confederacy. The Confederacy grew from 7 to 11 states. Abraham Lincoln remained president of the northern states. General Robert E. Lee of the Confederacy surrendered to General Ulysses S. Grant of the Union at Appomattox, Virginia, ending the war. Reconstruction began afterwards to rebuild and repair the damage the war had caused. Many families were torn apart. Brothers fought against brothers and fathers fought against sons. A total of 600,000 Union and Confederate soldiers were killed. Ulysses S. Grant was the Union general to whom General Robert E. Lee surrendered. He became the 18th president of the United States following Andrew Johnson. Johnson became president as he was vice president at the time of Abraham Lincoln's assassination. Today, Ulysses S. Grant's picture is found on the $50 bill.
Here's Brianna reporting on the Industrial Revolution.
Hi, I'm Brianna Newmiller reporting for Historical News 101 on the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution happened in the United States. It started around the 1760s and ended around the 1840s. It was the transition to new manufacturing processes, improved water power, increasing use of steam power, and the development of machine tools. It also included the change from wood and other biofuels to coal. During the Industrial Revolution, workers came to look for employment in the new factories. But because the industrial system was new, there was no experienced workers. The Industrial Revolution occurred when people would go from working and living on farms to working and living in cities. It started because of 3 important reasons. 1, the railroads, 2, the population, and 3, to protect the tariff. My person of interest is George Stephenson, a civil engineer. He built the first commercial locomotive and railways during the Industrial Revolution. Back to you.
Here's Taylor reporting on the Indian Removal Act.
Hi, my name is Taylor Santangelo reporting for Historical News 101. Today's topic is the Indian Removal Act.
The Indian Removal Act was a law passed by Congress during the presidency of Andrew Jackson. The law stated the president to negotiate with the Indian tribes in the southern United States for their removal to federal territory west of the Mississippi River in exchange for their ancestral homelands. This law was made on May 28, 1830s. My person of interest is Andrew Jackson. His presidential term was March 4th, 1829 to March 4th, 1837. He passed this law so he could move the southern United States tribes for their homes that have been there for years. The Indians' travel was known for the Trail of Tears.
Here's Maria reporting on the Great Depression.
Hi there, I'm Maria Cushel, and this channel is called Historical News 101. My topic is the Great Depression. Here are some facts. There were two important people during the Great Depression. Their names are Franklin D. Roosevelt and Mary McLennan Bethune. During the 1930s, Franklin D. Roosevelt helped the United States get through the Great Depression. Mary McLennan Bethune was a great leader. She led African Americans during the Great Depression. She was trying to lead the U.S. out of the Great Depression. President Roosevelt listened to many ideas from him. U.S. citizens, because they lost their jobs, they barely had any money, so they had to be thrown out of their homes. They used blocks of wood for shelter, and they used only a little bit of essentials they had from their homes. Thank you.
Here's Adrian reporting on World War II.
Hello and welcome to Historical News 101. Today I'm going to be talking about World War II. A person that was involved in World War II was Adolf Hitler. He was the leader of the National Socialist Organization and also known as the Nazis. He promised to get back their armed forces and take over other countries' land. They started by invading Poland, and then they started relocating Jewish people and also killing them.
Here's Madison reporting on the Cold War.
Hi, my name is Madison Grandy and I'm reporting for Historical News 101. Today I'm reporting on the Cold War. The Cold War started on 1947 and ended in 1991. It was free world versus communist world. The Cold War happened because one side lived with freedoms while the other lived under bad conditions. This type of war wasn't physical. It wasn't fought on a battlefield. This war was a separation between two countries. Berlin, Germany started to divide the city apart. Then the whole world started to come apart as well. The free world won this war. All of the communists are gone. They left. Nicole Ceausescu was born on January 26, 1918. He was a rising leader in the Union of Communist Youth. He also did not escape the Daftona prison, but it did leave him with a permanent scar. This is Christian reporting on the Civil Rights Movement.
Hello, this is Kirsty reporting for Historical News 101 on the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement started because dark people weren't treated as well as the white people. Some examples are they weren't allowed to go to certain shops, restaurants, or hotels. This also affected others in the history of the U.S. because there were more laws made. People weren't able to exclude people because of their race, and people weren't able to make fun of people's races. Protests that happened were the bus boycott with Rosa Parks and the I Have a Dream speech with Martin Luther King Jr. The time this happened was 1955 to 1968. One very important person who did a protest was Martin Luther King Jr. He just didn't think discrimination was right, and he did all he could to change it. One of his famous protests was the I Have a Dream speech, which stated that he believed all people were created equally and wanted everyone to be treated that way. Because of him and many others, there is no more discrimination.
Sunday reporting on 9/11.
Hello, I'm Manu Deli, recording from Historical News 101. About 14 years ago, September 11, 2001, at 8:46 a.m., a plane strikes into the North Tower of the World Trade Center complex. At 9:03 a.m., another plane strikes into the South Tower of the World Trade Center complex. The reason why this happened was because a group named Al-Qaeda, led by Osama bin Laden, didn't believe in America and how it was a free country. They hijacked 4 planes, 2 crashing into the North and South Tower of the World Trade Center, and 1 crashing into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and another one landing in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. That day, about 3,000 people died, and several buildings collapsed. It also cautioned airports to upgrade security all around the country, and made our former President George W. Bush declare war on terrorists. George W. Bush was the president at the time. He served 2 terms before Barack Obama. During that day, he was reading a story to 2nd graders at M.L.T. Booker Elementary School. When he heard what was going on, he stayed completely calm. At 9 p.m. that day, he declared a televised address, declared war on terrorists. That day was the start of a new war.